Do I talk to my mum about my sex life? When did we start our period? Or when did we get it? Did you want to go first or I should go first?
I mean, I wouldn't say you ever really asked me loads of questions,
I don't think
have you?
I really asked you.
No,
not
no,
really.
you haven't.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, as you can see, I'm not alone. I'm here with my mum again. In today's video, I'm actually going to be supporting Always Dailies and helping them bust some everyday myths around periods, vaginas, discharge, liners, basically everything that girls struggle with. Me and my mum are actually going to be answering some of your questions or like scenarios that you've sent in, and I'm also just going to be basically talking about some typical myths that people believe about different things like periods and vaginas and everything, and we're basically just going to be debunking them and telling you what we think. I've actually got a pack of the Always Daily liners here, and these are actually dermatologically tested, so they are safe to use every day. They've got a breathable layer, they're super thin and easy to keep in your bag. As you can see, each one in the packet is actually individually wrapped for on-the-go freshness, and these will actually help absorb discharge and odours that you may experience throughout the day. Basically, these liners are just going to help you to stay fresh throughout the day and when you're not on your period and you're just getting regular discharge. As you can see, they're super thin, super small, easy just to put in your pocket or chuck into your bag if you need to, and yeah, they're just basically really discreet. Yeah, have a feel of one. Plus they just look pretty as well, like they're really soft. They're really soft, and the packaging just looks really pretty, so even if anybody does see it, why does it matter? Because it's normal anyway.
Yeah, and that's so soft, you feel that?
It's so soft, you can tell it's going to be so comfortable.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even notice really that you're wearing it.
Which is really important.
Which is really important, and it will help keep your underwear fresh and everything.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
We're just going to jump straight into the questions, so I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get started. Okay, so the first one that we've got is actually a myth, and it's basically that your vagina should be odourless. Basically, vaginas do actually have a natural odour anyway, and everyone's odour is different, but everyone's odour is also normal. So if you feel like you need to freshen up, you could just pop one of the liners in and automatically you'll feel a lot fresher. But it definitely is normal. Obviously, if it's quite a strong odour, then it may be worth...
That's not normal.
That's not necessarily normal, but vaginas do have a natural odour anyway, so I really wouldn't stress too much. The next question somebody asked is, did you give me the birds and the bees talk?
We did, but not, it wasn't like just one big talk and that was it. It was like a gradual.
It was like a gradual, like when I needed to know something, I'd ask my mum and then she'd tell me.
Yeah.
And just as I became like more aware of what is going on, and like as I've gotten older.
I mean, I wouldn't say you ever really asked me loads of questions,
I don't think
have
I've
you?
really asked you.
No,
not
no,
really.
you haven't. No.
We've spoken about it, but I haven't like
no
directly said,
no,
Mum,
not at all.
can I
No,
ask you this?
no, you haven't.
No, because but I would though if I needed to.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Yeah, like I know I could come and be like,
yeah.
But I just haven't. I don't think I've needed to.
No,
yet.
no.
The next one's for both of us, and it is when did we start our period, or when did we get it? So do you want to go first, or I should go first? I started my period when I think I was 14, or possibly 15. And it was really late at night, and I was with Amber and we were sat on my bed, and I remember I'd had an absolutely horrific day anyway, like genuinely it was probably one of the worst days of my life, and I'm not even being dramatic over it. And I remember I was just sat there, and you know, me and Amber were just like chilling. I think I literally just took my trousers off to get changed for bed, and I just sat down on my bed, and Amber had obviously looked down and she was like, Anna, there's something red on the bed. And I was like, what do you mean? And I looked down and I was just sitting in a really nice pool of blood. And I started my period, and then I screamed to my mum. I screamed, Mum. I was like, Mum! And you ran in, you went, it's alright, it's only a period. I was like, Mum, and I started crying, and suddenly I got really hormonal, and suddenly everything just kicked in.
I was very late actually.
How late were you?
Almost 16. Actually, Anna, you were 15.
Was I 15?
Yeah, because you were also one of the last in your...
In like my friendship group, I remember I was panicking about it because everybody else had started their period,
and I said
I hadn't.
And I said to you, you'll probably be like me.
Yeah.
Whereas I was one of the last as well, so
and I remember
you took after me.
I took after you, and I remember I was really like confused because every other part of me had started to develop apart from my period. So I started to get boobs, I started to get like underarm hair, I started to, do you know what I mean? Like every part of me started to develop apart from that.
Well, it's not a bad thing that you started later, is it?
Well, no, I'm definitely not complaining that I started later.
No.
But
so I mean, you wanted to start.
I wanted to start. Yeah.
In hindsight, it was
quite a nice thing.
Because they're never ending.
What do you do to help with bad cramps?
Before I had Atticus, I got terrible stomachache.
I remember.
Really bad.
It was really bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was always the main thing. But since I've had Atticus, the pain down there has gone. I suffer with headaches.
You get really bad headaches.
And
don't you get spots?
Yeah, my skin.
Like before your period?
Yeah, my skin and my whole just general mood. I know I have my period once every 3 weeks. as opposed to once every 4 weeks. A week after I've finished my period, I'm like bouncing off the wall, so happy.
Yeah, I know.
I
can
feel
tell.
completely normal. And then literally I have about a week break from it until my mood starts to
Like to change again.
Because it's leading up to the period again.
To help cramps, I would normally just use like a hot water bottle, or I always get in the bath. Or ibuprofen. I always take ibuprofen because I get really bad period cramps. Another question was like irregular periods, like did you get a really irregular period? At the start I got them quite regular for like 4 or 5 months, and then they went completely irregular for like so long. Like I'd miss out like 3 months at a time, and then I'd have one and it would be really light, and then I'd miss out another 3 months and it would come back and it'd be like really heavy. It's definitely getting more regular, and I can kind of like gauge when I'm gonna come on my period. Basically, I'm not gonna lie, I judge it a lot from my friends, because I know that when my friends come on, I come on at the same time, so we're kind of all like linked our cycles together. Your cycle's just trying to like figure out what's going on, and I definitely have.
I think they can also become irregular at any time, really, down to due to stress.
Due to stress, yeah, stress can make them irregular.
Too much weight as well, different things that can make them irregular anyway.
The next myth is that you need to find one product that suits you and stick to it. This isn't true, because personally for me, I have like changed what products I've used. I've never used a tampon. I'm going to be completely honest, because I'm quite scared to use one, just because I don't really like the idea of it. You used to use them all the time, didn't you?
I used to use them all the time and never give them a second thought.
Yeah. Now I personally just use pads. I know that some people can say that tampons are like cleaner and they can make you feel better, but personally I just don't feel like I need to use a tampon yet. Maybe I will in the foreseeable future.
Maybe
but
if you were swimming or something.
Yeah, if I was swimming, like I'm not gonna lie, if I'm on my period I just avoid going swimming. If I'm on my period I will just use pads, and it really is just dependent on what you feel comfortable using. You don't have to stick with one product, you can just change and see whatever works best for your body.
At different times in your life, really.
Yeah, at different times in your life.
You can't just stick to one.
The next topic of conversation that people wanted us to cover was contraception. Now, personally for me, I haven't been on any form of contraception. I personally haven't needed it. I've definitely considered the pill for pain of my period cramps, because it is so bad sometimes, but I hear a lot of people say they get really bad mood swings and they get a lot of bad side effects from it, and personally I don't really want to put myself through that. Personally for me, I haven't gone on that type of contraception, but obviously when you are, and if you are sexually active, obviously I use condoms, and condoms are essential to use when you are having sex.
Definitely.
Don't want no babies here.
No.
So a few years ago, I feel like I'm telling a story. Before Atticus was born, I had the implant.
I remember because they like put it in
Yeah.
your arm, and I felt it in the little like squidgy pot thing first.
That's
You know, like
it.
they felt it in your arm. And I remember then they put it like on the inside here.
That's it.
And I can remember I always felt it in your arm.
That's
because
it.
was
Yeah,
like
you could feel it through.
Yeah, you could.
Do you remember it was like a line going that way and then one down?
Yeah, I
It's
remember
like a
it was like
T.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you could feel it.
You could feel it in your arm.
But it done the job. The only thing I would say with it is that it made me bleed very, very irregularly. I never knew when I'd start bleeding, and that happened for a long time. In the end, I just had enough of that.
You got it taken out, didn't you?
So I had it took out. Yeah, it might not cause everybody to bleed like that. I think that is
It
one
just
of
affects
that is
people,
one of
doesn't
the
it?
things that they do warn you about, that could happen. So it did happen to me, but
Yeah.
it might not happen to other people. But apart from the bleeding, it was a
It
really
was
good form of
contraception.
contraception. It wasn't like a pill that you didn't have to remember to take it.
Another question that somebody sent in was, do I talk to my mum about my sex life? And I definitely have in the past. I don't know, as I get older I probably won't as much, but
No,
like when I
wouldn't
like
expect you to.
I like admittedly, like when I lost my virginity, obviously I think I told my mum about half an hour after, and we had a conversation about it. Yeah, I mean I've spoken to you about my sex life.
Yeah, around that time.
Like around that time.
Around that time,
Not
but-
as much anymore.
No,
But around that time I did.
Yeah, around that time you definitely did. Yeah, around the time that, you know, you're going to lose your virginity or
Yeah.
expect to, then you definitely need an adult. I mean, that might
Yeah.
not be your mum, so it could be any female that you're close to.
It's an experience and a half, and obviously you don't want to keep it to yourself. Like sometimes you do need to vent, and you do need to talk to somebody about it, and I found that in my mum when I needed to.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the last one is that somebody sent in is, I haven't started my period yet and I'm 14, should I be worried? Now honestly I personally wouldn't be worried, because
Yeah, I think there's a certain age that the doctors give, that if you haven't started it by then, to go to the doctors.
Yeah.
But I'm
But
not
at
completely
14,
sure. Definitely not 14.
Definitely not
because
14,
I was
like-
16 and you
I was
were 15.
15,
So
virgin
no,
on 16.
definitely not. You probably feel that
Definitely
pressure
not,
because maybe a lot of your friends have started
Yeah.
and that, but it is definitely normal at 14 to not have started.
So that is the end of this video. I really hope you guys have found it helpful. Obviously it is a very different type of video to have on my channel, but people just don't like talking about this stuff. Yeah, it's so normal because every girl goes through it and every girl has a period and everyone goes through the whole like contraception stage and all like the worries and like periods and everything. If you do want me and my mum to do another one of these videos, we can definitely do that and we can cover other topics or basically anything that you want us to talk about. And just as a reminder, I am obviously supporting the Always Dailies campaign as well. I'm definitely going to be keeping these in my bag and in my pockets just when I need them, just to freshen up and make myself feel better. These genuinely are just perfect for when you've got that little bit of discharge just around your time of the month and you don't want to get your underwear spoiled. Exactly, it just keeps them feeling fresh, looking fresh, and basically you just feeling better. Thank you for watching. I really hope you guys have enjoyed and I will see you very, very soon for a brand new video. Mwah. Bye!